This podcast provides a platform for our guests to share their experiences and inspire our listeners to be brave and bold in pursuit of their dreams. As you listen, we invite you to explore how these concepts apply to your own story. You know what to do. Be great and be grateful. We're mic'd up with Mike DeChocho. Hey guys, buckle up. You're in for a wild ride. My guest today served 14 years as an infantry officer, leading units as large as 400 in the United States Marine Corps, earning 2 combat action ribbons, the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, and a Bronze Star. Welcome to the show, the man who makes people hard to kill, founder and president of Athletes Unleashed and Unleashed Academy, Robby Dinero. Thanks for being here, brother.
Hey, I'm glad to have you. There was a recent change in the name from Unleashed Academy to Robby Dinero Leadership Coaching. That literally just happened. You would have never known that. It literally is just in the works.
Robby Dinero Leadership Coach.
Yes, sir. Leadership coaching.
Coaching, yeah. And I got to see that live, guys. I had the honor of having Robby at a seminar. I saw him at a Lunch and Learn. That's really where we met. And he just delivered the best hour-long presentation. I'm not just blowing smoke here. It lights you on fire when you hear Robby talk because he's talking from experience. I'm going to let you talk a little bit about what you do when you do those leadership courses and things like that. But we're in a crazy time. I just want to get this out there call it on the air, right? So on the podcast right now, we're currently in a state of basically self-quarantine. I don't believe the government said we have to stay home, but it's suggested. COVID-19 is in the middle of this thing. I mean, we're kind of in week 1 of the self-quarantine. So what's cool is we're still able to do this episode because we can experience social distancing by keeping the podcast from home, right? Which is cool. We don't stop. We keep rolling. And if there's a guest I could have on my show during a tough time like this, it's Robby Dinero that can explain how you keep going. You don't give up. He's got the experience there. So tell us a little bit about how you're getting through this crazy time right now. Your CrossFit gym, unfortunately, needs to close its doors for a moment. How are you getting through it?
That is a monster question with a super fun answer. It really is. There's lots of components to it. My gym does have to physically close its doors, but the gym is not the building. The gym is not the structure. Mm-hmm. It just so happens that's where the gym executes, and right now the gym is still executing just outside the closed doors. So the structure has nothing to do with what we do other than keeping the rain off our heads. Sounds like we'll get some rain on our heads now because we are still coaching. We still see our people every day through Facebook Live. We do Zoom calls. We are providing online coaching. I give workouts to my guys. We lead them through warm-ups via Facebook Live. I actually do the workout with them, Facebook Live, once a day. We're getting together, meeting in parks. We've got a whole bunch of surprises next week. So though the structure is closed, it's important to remember the structure is not the gym. The people are the gym, and we are still cranking.
I love that. I mean, one of the things I'm always looking at it like glass half full. I know that's a corny saying, whatever, but really, like, mindset is everything. And if right now people just said, oh, I'm not able, like, if your job is where you need to be physically at work and you can't work right now, and you're getting paid, there's some people that are like kind of laid off but paid time off. Like, it's a great time to learn a new skill. It's a great time to learn and adapt. Read a book, do something cool, spend extra time with the family that you always said you wanted anyways. Now you have it. What you're doing is you just basically kind of learned on your feet. You were doing some online stuff already. I know that a lot of Facebook Live stuff. But now you're using it from a coaching standpoint. Before it was kind of more of a, hey, little inside scoop behind the scenes. You took 5 seconds to learn and adapt, and now you already have coaching where you're still doing it online. I think it's a great thing we can learn from this tough situation is, what's the good that we can learn from it? Well, you learn now, even once you can open your doors again, maybe you have some online coaching that you do once a week because you learn how to do it, right? You learn a new skill.
Yes. I think the potential is endless. I think it starts with perspective. You touched somewhat on this. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'm shifting gears maybe a little bit to set the stage for the reason we can move forward. Let's put this in perspective. I keep hearing uncertain times. Mm-hmm. These are uncertain times and crazy times. You've never seen times like this. So let's analyze this.
Yeah.
Uncertain times was the Revolutionary period. We didn't have a damn country. We didn't have a Declaration of Independence. We didn't have a Bill of Rights. We didn't have a Constitution. Those were uncertain times. We didn't know whether we were going to be bowing to a damn king. Those are uncertain times. Well, that's so long ago. Okay, how about the revolution? How about the Civil War? 650,000 Americans dead. Those are uncertain. 650,000. That is more dead Americans than all other wars combined. We are so far removed from any kind of uncertainty that we can't even fathom 650,000 Americans. We have right now in the global war on terror, about 6,500 Americans have passed, and people are freaking out. Like, oh my God, the cost has been so horrible. 650,000 in the Civil War. Well, it's 150 years ago. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's move up to World War II. How about, hey mom, let's make some cookies. Nope. We don't have any more food coupons. No more sugar for us. No more flour. No more coffee. Sorry, we can't do that. All right, I'm going to go outside and play. Nope. You have to go outside and pick milkweed pods so we can turn them in and make parachutes and collect tinfoil to turn that into so we make tanks. So we're not speaking freaking German in 4 years. Those are uncertain times. Oh, that's World War II. That was different. How about the 70s? We're out of gas. We have to drive to a different country. We have to drive to a different country for gas. Now, admittedly, it's Canada. It's like the 51st state. I get it. But we're driving to a different country for gas. Those are uncertain times.
Right. Yeah, it's like control what's in your control. What's killing me is the amount of people, and I don't want to point at a demographic because a lot of people are kind of finger pointing right now, but there are still people who are trying to go about things almost like regular. So I agree with what you're saying. You can't be all one direction or the other. Like, you know, you're still smart. You're staying at home. You're with your kids. You're not going running around town trying. If you had the virus, you're not like, I'm just going to happily pass it on to someone who could potentially be dangerous to. You're not saying be reckless. You're saying, in perspective, you could stay at home right now. You could work. I know you're working on stuff at the house as we speak. Before this interview started, you were getting some work.
The gym. I'm at the gym. I'm in the gym.
You're at the gym working. And look, you know, you're able to still do those things. It's not like you're taken into a factory saying, hey, we're not building cars today. We're building bombs, right? Which is what was going on in World War II, where everything's shifted and what manufacturing shifted. And so that's great. And I appreciate you, you know, I haven't heard anybody yet put it that vividly. And you know what, it was good for me to hear it. Because even me, I'm thinking more about the economy. Of course, I care about people's health, but the economy, and every small business owner I've called since Friday has either given me a reason, whether it's valid or not, justifiable, right? That they're afraid to spend $1 on marketing, on media, on, you know, everything's getting pushed off. And that part scares me. It's like, when are we ever going to be able to operate like we were 2 weeks ago, right? So I agree.
I am spending money. I am not. Like, what are these people scared of? Look, there was a horrendous flu in 1958 and 1959. 80,000 people, I think, died in 58 and 59. And you know what happened? We got on the other side of it. Here we are in the 60s. Another horrible hit. What happened? We got past it. Swine flu. We got past it. Right. There is absolutely nothing. There is nothing that implies that this is going to be any different, that we're not going to get past it and that we're not going to become immune to it or come up with a vaccination or anything like it. Look at the casualty rate. The casualty rate right now, talking about a death rate of about 3% right now, and that's only going to keep plummeting as more people getting tested. Think about who's getting tested. Who's gotten tested in the U.S. right now? First line responders. So they're much more likely to have it. The elderly, much more likely to have it. So everybody that's gotten tested are priority cases. It's much more likely that they have it. So of course it's going to be biased towards fatality. Once we start getting more tests going, the fatality rate's going to drop. People are going to start to realize this is nothing like what we're thinking, that we are going to get past it like we've gotten past everything else. And all these, listen, I know these doctors and epidemiologists, these guys are brilliant. These folks that are forecasting, that are coming up with their models, are using lots of assumptions. Lots of assumptions that are no different than the damn assumptions people are using for their climate change models that, by the way, are completely wrong because the glaciers are expanding, right? They're realizing, oh, we're wrong. We're not cooling. We're warming. Come on. This is a drop in the bucket. Anybody that says, oh my God, I better not spend money because the world's about to end, are they out of their freaking skull?
Yeah.
In 3 damn months, the economy's gonna be back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Right. And here's the thing, if everybody else is doing this, you can actually, if it's a race and everybody's pulling back and hitting on the brake, what could you do? You could either keep going or even go faster and distance yourself. Like, so many businesses still operate online. Even restaurants they do takeout right now and delivery. So why not run ads around takeout and delivery? You know what I mean?
Right. And what a great chance to buy stock. Oh my gosh,
I
what a
know.
great chance to buy stock. Buy freaking Vices. Buy into the Vices. Booze and cigarettes, man. I'm telling you. Buy into it.
Yeah, it's
Philip Morris
really
stock
crazy,
right now
man.
is low. It's going to shoot up.
Yeah, I don't want to go down the conspiracy road because, there's a lot of people saying there's a second reason why this whole thing started. I don't even want to go there with it. All I know is we can control what we're in control of. You and I are small business owners. We're both working just as hard now, if not harder than we were 2 weeks ago, right? Learning and adapting and continuing to grow. We're not rolling down and you know what I mean? And kind of pinching.
What's the choice?
You said, yeah.
Anybody is like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. All right, so die in place.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, you're dead. Die in place or die moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Talking about that, so I teased it at the beginning. One of your taglines is "You make people hard to kill," and I saw you in action a few times. The intensity level at your CrossFit gym, and now you're able to still do that online. So, where did that mentality come from? And I know because I've been working with you a little bit why that is. But if someone's tuning in for the first time, what do you mean when you say that? Let's talk a little bit about your CrossFit style.
Sure, being hard to kill. Being fit for me, my definition of being fit is being able to dominate your environment. I want when anybody walks into someplace, I want them to be able to dominate. Dominate it doesn't mean that they're taking control. It doesn't mean that they're stepping out of place or doing things they should be doing. Being able to dominate your environment means that you own your space and that nobody can influence your space without your permission and without your consent. Owning your space is dominating your environment. That's what being fit is. Being fit is mentally and physically being able to dominate your environment. So it's a combination between the mental and the physical. And, the tougher somebody is, the harder they are to kill. And that's an important feature. That's the most important thing to me. When I make somebody fit, when I help them achieve fitness, it's to make them the toughest, most badass version of themselves possible, because I want them to be hard to kill because they're more useful.
They can withstand turmoil too, like at the end of the day, talk about natural selection. I mean, it's just if someone is in that mental space, which is what you do with your leadership coaching, in the physical space, which is cool. You basically take physical and mental and you offer it all, right?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
People can tune into that at theunleashed.us, correct?
That's correct.
theunleashed.us, and you guys can see he has it broken out really nicely, but it's really all Robby Dinero at the top, right? So you started this in 2012, right? So it's been about eight years up and running so far. So tell us about the progress behind your CrossFit gym and how that's all started from concept in your head into where you've grown it to today, because it's been really, you just moved into a larger building as well. Talk about the growth of AU.
The growth of AU. Okay, so this was, I was getting out of the Marine Corps and I did not know what I wanted to do. I was not ready for a transition into civilian life. I tried it and I didn't enjoy what I was doing. So I decided I was going to open up a gym. That's what we did. I took savings and found a space to rent, put a few pieces of equipment in there, started small, got more and more people to show up and trust me. And it's really been, what do they say? It's organic. It's grown from things I haven't been able to do a lot of marketing at the start. So I've had my gym members market for me, and it's just grown exponentially from there. Fast forward 7 years, I bought a building, so I'm no longer a tenant. I bought a building, and we've got the gym now across the street in our building, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using this opportunity right now to make improvements in the building. So because it's empty, I got to coach my guys outside of the building. We are working on stuff inside the building.
Love it. How is CrossFit more advantageous than more traditional gym equipment? If you can kind of, that's an ignorant question for me. I know a lot of people listening probably already know the answer, but if you could maybe even elaborate on how CrossFit gives you like an ultimate workout compared to me going and doing some dumbbells and running on a treadmill for 30 minutes?
That is a great question. You may be surprised by my answer. I don't know that I'm not here to claim that CrossFit is better than anybody else's form of exercise.
Mm-hmm.
CrossFit works so well for people that like it because they like it. If somebody, hey, listen, if somebody wants to run on a treadmill and do curls in the mirror with some dumbbells, I'm all for it. If they're dedicated to that, it's making them happy, it's providing them a level of fitness that they're happy with, awesome. If somebody wants to maximize their ability to be good at lots of things, to not be a specialist, to be a generally awesome, badass human, that's what CrossFit is for. CrossFit makes you, my version of CrossFit, what I love about CrossFit is it's not franchise, it's affiliation. So there's no any one version of CrossFit. Every affiliate owner gets to develop their own version. My version, I make people hard to kill. That's what we do. That's what I care about. And so if you're looking for a method of fitness that trains you mentally and physically, and turns you into a certified badass, then that's what CrossFit is for. That's why you want to come see us at Athletes Unleashed. And that's why, generally speaking, most CrossFit gyms do have some component of mental toughness and mental awareness in there. I think it's almost impossible to do this well without that mental aspect, because the nature of some of these workouts are just tough. And so it demands a little more mental focus than a more traditional Globo gym based workout.
Yeah. I love that. It's really important. Like you know that what you offer is not for everybody. It's for a very specific niche that's looking for that. They're looking for that high performance, high challenge.
Can I modify that? It's really important.
Absolutely. For sure.
It is for everybody. Not everybody realizes it. What happens, I can't tell you how many times I get people in here. My oldest client is 72 years old. Wow. My youngest, 5. We go from 5 years old to 72 years old. We go from 100 pounds to 400 pounds. It is for everybody. They don't realize that this method is for them sometimes. So that's why it's so hard when I'm talking to people. It's so important for me to get them to come in and do a one-on-one with me, because they don't know what they don't know. Then they walk through the doors and they say, and they do a one-on-one coaching experience with me, a discovery session, and they realize, holy smokes, this is what I've been looking for. I can do this. This is for me. So it's not that we are specialized in the people that we're looking for. We're not looking for a very specific segment, other than people that are willing to work their freaking asses off. So here's your qualifier. You know this is for you if you are willing to suffer, if you're willing to freaking work hard and you want change. Those are the 3 qualifiers we need.
Yeah. That's, I guess, what I was getting at is like, some people are just saying, hey, I want to just kind of tone. I'm not looking to go all in like that. Right. So that's maybe not the person that you're looking for. You're looking for someone who's looking for 1,000% commitment to themselves. You
know what I've noticed when somebody says, hey, I'm looking to tone? Usually I ask a lot of questions. Hey, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Why is that important to you to tone? And once I ask them enough times why it's important for them to tone, I get the real reason. Well, I want to look good. It's important to me to look good. Why is that important to look good? Well, I feel good on the inside. I want to look as good on the outside as I feel on the outside. Don't work for you. You don't want to tone. You want to freaking feel good about yourself. You want your outside. This isn't arrogance. This isn't being too aesthetically concerned. They want their outside to represent their inside. Some people call it getting toned. Some people call it getting jacked. Some people call it building muscle. But you know what it is? Everybody, guy and girl, wants to look as good on the outside as they feel on the inside. Come on in here because we can do it.
That's amazing. I love that. So can you share a quick case study? You mentioned your range is a 5-year-old all the way up to 72-year-old. Can you share someone, and I've seen a couple things on Facebook where, someone that kind of maybe didn't have all the physical giftedness, maybe there was an injury involved and you're working with them. Can you share a story that stands out to you about someone that you worked with and you just like inspired you to see their transition?
Oh my gosh. Almost every Tuesday, about 2 or 3 Tuesdays out of the month on Instagram, I'll feature somebody. And that's what I do is I feature one of the athletes that has done some incredible changes. So just going back through some of those features. Diamond, he's one of our athletes. I use nicknames a lot. So Diamond has lost 25 pounds and is stronger than he has ever been. My sister Amy is down, oh my goodness, 100 pounds. I've got women that have not lifted or lifted weights before. They're now deadlifting, 250 pounds and throwing 100 pounds over their head. The list goes on and on and on of people that have done amazing things and transformed their lives. And if you go to our Instagram page, you'll see about 4 posts a month featuring somebody and the mental and physical transformation that they've gone through. Lifting weights is tough. Throwing weight over your head, it takes balls. It takes balls. And when people walk in here, they don't have the balls to do it. And we teach them how, and the confidence. That's what I'm talking about, the mental change. The confidence I see, especially in women. They come in here, they've never thrown weights around before. And then when they realize that they're freaking badasses and strong and they can throw some serious steel overhead, they walk out of here so freaking confident and cocky. It is unbelievable to see what they're willing to do. And then to watch them and to hear how that translates down to how they're teaching their kids and how they're influencing their sons and daughters how to be badasses and confident and to take care of themselves. It's amazing.
Yeah. What happens in your facility and now even virtually, it's not just for that moment. It's for you're really transforming their life. It's an overall commitment to excellence. It's not, hey, you're going to be excellent in the mirror. You're going to be excellent in the gym. You're going to be excellent at work. It's making you a better all around person, which is why
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, which is why I'm first to admit I'm not, physically gifted currently, and I don't do a lot of workouts. So I'm someone, every time I talk to you, I think I gotta finally go do that. I gotta do that. But what I respect about you, Robby, is how you, you never made me feel uncomfortable about that. You never said, dude, how come I don't see you in here putting steel over your head, But we've always had great conversations about the overall piece of it. And I really appreciate how you do that and help people transform. And what I want to talk about is too, what you did in the classroom, let's call it, during the lunch and learn and during your seminar, right? Because I think that's the part of this, the leadership side of it as well. I saw you twice in action. You talk about 2 things and many others, but the 2 things I want you to really talk about here that my audience can benefit from is the core value piece of a business and also the mission statement and how those are integral before you can really get to your big picture goals. I don't want to speak for you here, but tell us how core values and a mission statement can really lead you to your desired goals.
A business, while it can function without having core values and a mission statement, is really like a ship at sea without a compass, without a light, without a sail, without any. They're just floating. They're just kind of floating around, and they're being reactive to the seas. They're being reactive to the waves push them around, rather than being proactive and navigating their course. So core values. Core values are 3 or 4 things that the business owner can't sleep on. Like if those 3 or 4 things are not happening, it keeps them up at night. That's how they know those are the core values. And what those core values do, those are really the overall guiding principle for that entire operation. And it does something very important when you have those core values. It empowers employees. So long as the core values are known by everybody and preached, and this is what we help people do, is we help them develop their core values, figure out what's most important, how to define them, how to word them so that people remember them, it's succinct, and then how to promulgate that throughout the workforce so that everybody knows it and lives it and breathes it. Once that occurs, that empowers employees to make decisions on behalf of the business owner. So that if the business owner is not present and a decision has to be made, in the absence of specific guidance, that employee can refer back to the core values, and it's like a checklist. All right, I got to make a decision. Did my decision meet core value number 1, core value number 2, and the core value number 3? If it did, then regardless of what the decision was, it can't be a wrong decision. Like the business owner is going to be happy with what they did because it was in line with the core values. It allows the business owner to empower their employees and to have less of a presence in everybody's business so they can focus on running the business. And it empowers the employees so they don't have to look over their shoulder every 30 seconds looking for guidance. They know how to do it, and they can be most creative and most productive. I mean, it goes on and on. You can see how this circle, the ripple effect, would go bigger and bigger and bigger, and how much more money a company makes, etc. The mission statement is just as important.
I want to elaborate on that quick as kind of a summary. So a great leader, by that definition, then has their team working so well. It could be an athlete or sports team. It could be a business team operating at such a high level that whether they were there or not, the functionality of the organization is almost exactly the same. Correct?
Nobody should ever know that the boss is there or not there.
Exactly.
In the best business, the best organizations in the world,
right?
If Sean
McDermott had to go, to the bathroom or something in the middle of the game, they should still be able to operate, right?
Yes, I could. My goal: if I get shot in the face tomorrow, the gym goes on. Mm-hmm. That's my goal.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Especially
because that'll end up bad for the person that shot me in the face. I'll freaking take them out.
I believe it, man. I got money on you every single time. So you were about to go in from core values now into mission statement. So let's bring that home.
Mission statement is so freaking simple. It is, it defines what we do, and equally important, defines what we don't do. So very often, a lot of businesses will sometimes get distracted. They hate saying no to a customer. They want to do more and more and more. But the mission statement keeps us focused. It tells us what we do and what we don't do. And if we have a well-defined mission statement, it also gives the why behind the why. So once again, if an employee needs to make a decision and they look back to their core, they base it in their core values, and they look at their mission statement, and they understand the why behind the why, they can make a decision that supports the best interest of the business and mission accomplishment for the customer. Mm-hmm. Without that, you're closing your eyes and throwing darts at the dartboard.
Right. And I see you leading from the front, both at AU and also with your Krakens, as you call them too, your little boys. You have your daughter's the oldest, and then you have 3 little guys, right? Krakens, to me, from what I understand, I'm a Yankees fan, and Gary Sanchez has a Kraken title as well. Where does that come from? I know it's a, what is it? Like a large sea creature, but what's the thing I'm thinking of?
What's
the actual creature? It's a bit, not a squid, octopus, right?
Yeah, like an octopus. That's very often how you see it represented.
Yeah. So is that relevant to why you call your 2 boys Krakens?
There is a movie back in the 80s called Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
And in that movie, there's a Kraken involved, and Zeus says, "Unleash the Kraken," and the Kraken gets unleashed and destroys a town, whatever. So I've got these 2, my twin boys, Rex and Rocco, and we had them had a gate up so they couldn't get out. You can imagine, how much energy one little boy has. 2 little boys, they just egg each other on. So whenever I'd open the gate, I'd say, "Unleash the Krakens," and they'd come screaming through the gate, and they've just become Krakens.
Yeah.
They really are. They're maniacs. They're wonderful, super sweet boys, super, super high energy. They're just freaking maniacs. They're maniacs.
I love it. Now I kind of feel sheltered that I didn't see that. I admittingly have not seen that movie, and I'm going to watch it now.
When you do it, when you do see it, make sure you see the original. The original is far better than the remake.
Original is in the 80s, you said?
80s. I think 81 or 82.
All right. Clash of the Titans.
Clash the Titans.
All right. I might want to edit that out, an embarrassing moment that I haven't seen that movie. 2 kids, so I know that's a big part of your life, right? So making sure you're setting the right example for them and everything that you're doing at the gym. And I know this too, when you're there, a lot of times they're with you too. They're coming in, they're running in. You're there.
Yeah, all my
Facebook, boys, 5 a.m. You're there. You're present.
Yes, the boys especially coming to the gym quite a bit with me. My daughter, she's 16. She's wonderful. We're going through 16-year-old stuff. So there's a little distance between her and I right now, normal dad-daughter, 16-year-old distance, and chaos in the family life. So, but yeah, the boys, Victor's 14. He's really interested in working out and comes in, works out. He coaches the young kids that we train. And then the Krakens are always here with me because they just love being at the gym, and they love being around the positive. I guess my boys like coming to the gym, from Victor, Rex, and Rocco, mostly because of the incredibly positive attitude and environment that is here. The people here are amazing. And I'll tell you a short story about the Krakens that'll really clearly convey how incredible this place is. One of my members, G Machine, Garrett, he's a great dude. He's in here all the time. He's constantly playing football with the Krakens. Whenever the Krakens are here, he's like teaching them things like how to throw the football, teaching them some tips on playing football. So he's just one of the people that they adore here. And we were in here Sunday, and Coach Nushan and Garrett were about to leave. And they said, we're going to Louis. And Rex turns to Garrett and says, oh, hang on a second. I'm going to tell my dad I'm going with you. And Rex, my 6-year-old boy, comes over to me. Hey, Dad, I'm going to Louis with Garrett. No, buddy, you're not going to Louis with Garrett. That's not how it works. Coach Sean and Garrett are going for Louis by themselves. They're not bringing you. And he didn't understand. He's like, wait a second, why not? Why? He's my buddy. Why can't I go to Louis with Garrett? Yeah. That's the kind of environment that we have here, where my boys feel loved. Yeah, really, they feel loved. And I try to make everybody feel that way.
Yeah, and Sean has an interesting title, doesn't he? Was it No Sean or what? New Sean. Because you had an old Sean and a new Sean. Is that how that all came about?
Lots of Seans, and when he came, he was the newest Sean. So his nickname became New Sean. He's the new Sean. Now he wasn't a coach then. It was really amazing how he ended up becoming a coach. But yeah, he is still new, even though he's like the oldest Sean here as far as seniority. He's still new Sean because that's his name now.
Let's dive into Robby a little bit further. Obviously you have the inspiring career and what you did as a Marine. What about how you got to that point and maybe mentality? If you could share anything you want here, this is kind of the moment to peel back the layers and let people know you a little bit. Other than, and I know you don't really have too much time because you put 1,000% dedication into your business and your family. What else? Do you have any other time, free time to, what other interests maybe do you have that you'd like to shine light on?
I love turning wrenches, man. I love building stuff. I love turning wrenches. I like being outside. So anytime I can get outside, either turn wrenches on a vehicle or build something. I love build something out of wood. Work on my house. I'm a little prideful. I like to fix everything myself, and sometimes that creates massive projects for me. It pains me to pay another man to like fix something in my house. Like, this is my house. I should be able to do this myself. So those, I guess, there's some things that could be interesting, I guess, to people. I don't do a good job of talking about myself. I'd rather talk about my.
When you kind of put your entrepreneurial cap on for the first time, you were pushing snow around, right? You were doing driving and stuff, right? Is that how you all started?
20 or 21 years old. Yeah. Yeah. And I started a snow plowing business and blacktop sealing business. So in the summers we blacktop seal, and in the winter, plow driveways. And that got me through college. Yeah, I paid for college cash every semester. It was back when you could pay cash every semester. I'd walk up to the registrar's office with a stack of bills and pay for my college in cash.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then that mentality. So then what? After that, is that when you went into the Marines, or?
Yeah, I was not sure what I wanted to do with my life. I was getting close to the end of college, and I still didn't know what I wanted. I was playing rugby. Rugby really let me know that I wanted to be a leader. I ended up becoming the captain of my rugby team. I had a wonderful rugby team, and I had some great guys that taught me how to be a good captain. My coach taught me how to be a good captain. I learned the ropes, or the initial ropes there. It got me my first taste of leadership. I enjoyed it. People seemed to like following me. And I definitely needed adventure, that's for sure. I was not ready to sit down behind a desk. My parents were super patriotic. On my father's side, they all served, whether it was World War II or the Korean War, they all served. Even though they were first generation here, they signed up and served. So we were patriotic. I needed adventure, and I wanted to lead. So I was in an art class. I needed to take an art class. I was in a drawing class. This professor, Connie Payne, she's amazing. She ended up showing me a movie. This movie led one thing to another. She kind of got me to realize that my future was not here in Buffalo. My future was, I needed to go somewhere. I needed to find my way. I needed to put my bear to sleep. And so that led me to the military. I talked to all the branches. The Marine Corps basically told me to shut the hell up and sit down. So they got me immediately with that. And yeah, I was hooked ever since.
So those core values from the Marines are very much so alive in your life every day.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And that's something that now people can learn through your leadership. Maybe they don't have the experience of being a Marine, but they take your leadership classes with you. They can get a lot of that backbone that you learned through the grueling time doing it. Now you can apply it to people, both in business and in life, right?
It's something I love doing with folks. I love
Mm.
enjoying helping them achieve their best, both personally and professionally. In the gym, we do it through fitness and mental challenges. And with the Robby Dinero leadership coaching, we do it through working with their business, studying their business, looking to see. We do what's called the fidelity process. We create the fidelity documents where we create our core values, we create our mission statement, we create our operating principles, our history statement, and our business ethics statements. And those are our fidelity documents. And combined, we use those to set them up for success and teach them how that should be their guiding principles for how they operate their business.
If someone's tuning in right now and they want to connect with you so they can take a course from you or maybe hire you for a speaking engagement once this whole thing, we're able to go out and have a group of people get together, how can they do that? Is that right at theunleashed.us or is there somewhere else?
They can contact us there. My number, 716-868-3973. The email address is simple, Robby with a Y, ROBBY at theunleashed.us.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. Something I didn't prepare for that I didn't know we would hit on, but there's two things I thought of. One is I have you wrap up with a statement that is one message you can give my audience, which is my mission statement of inspiring them to be brave and bold in pursuit of their dreams. So if you can hammer home on one message, but before you do that, I want to know a little bit about what inspired you or something you can think of. It could be a person or a moment or an activity, something in history. What inspired you? Just if you can share a story about something that moment, that light bulb went off.
Inspired me to do.
You know what? It could be anything. It could be just to achieve greatness. Is there a person that you look at or something that you look at as a kind of a reminder to give 100% every day? It could be anything.
Absolutely. There is. It's my father.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. My father was a stud. He was a hardworking man. I don't ever remember him complaining. I don't ever remember him complaining. He never showed pain. He was never tired. He was a freaking stud. Unfortunately, Parkinson's took him back in 2005. And I know you don't die from Parkinson's. But he suffered with that for about 16, 17 years. And in those 16 or 17 years, that man never complained. I never heard him complain. I never heard him say, what the hell, this sucks. Why do I have this damn disease? It just, he was always positive, very stoic. He was a stoic man, but positive. And if there was somebody to get something done, it was him. Everybody went, just ask Bob, go to Bob Dinero. Like, he was a stud. He was just a stud. He was a pillar.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now if you can take a message, something you learned in your life and deliver it to our audience here today to be brave and bold in pursuit of their dreams, what's something you would tell
them? Don't quit, ever. Don't quit. It's so simple. Just don't quit. The sun's going to rise tomorrow. If you can't handle the next 24 hours, break it up to 12 hours. Break it into a 12-hour period. And if you can't deal with the next 12 hours, break it up into a 1-hour period. And if you don't think you can handle the next hour, break it up into a 5-minute period. The freaking sun's going to rise. You're going to take your next breath. Life is good. God's never going to give you more than you can handle in one 24-hour period. Just keep grinding. Never quit.
I love it. And if something does feel like it's heavy and maybe you feel like you're being given more, that's an awakening moment, right? There's a reason for it. If you have bigger challenges, it's probably because God has given you more, right? I believe in that, right? More, you're called to do more, right? That's a whole we could talk a whole nother hour on that. I didn't drop that on you, but
I don't presume to tell people how to pray or how to get inspiration or anything like that. However, here's what I think. I no longer pray for patience. I pray for opportunities to be patient. I no longer pray for strength. I pray for the chance to demonstrate strength. So I think of it in those terms. And guess what? I just got granted a giant opportunity to be patient, to be strong, to be wise, to be helpful. I mean, holy hell, my prayers have been answered. Just this coronavirus, is the freaking answer. Like everyone's saying, oh, I wish I was more patient. I wish I was stronger. I wish I was a better mom. I wish I was a better dad. I wish I was more patient. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Here you go. We just got handed coronavirus.
Yeah.
Done.
Now, what are you going to do with it, folks? Right? How do you turn it into the best thing that it could happen to you? 3 things. My tagline, you'll see it in my emails: be great and be grateful. Again, the be great side of it is everything we just talked about, maximizing your God-given talents, or if you don't believe in God, what your tools are, right? Utilizing every tool in your tool belt. That's the being great part. Being grateful is reflecting on all the great things in your life, your family members, your career, having technology, being able to breathe and do this interview right now. So I like to start every day in gratitude. What are 3 things that you're most grateful for?
I'm not getting shot at. My belly is full. My kids love me.
Amen. I love that. Mic drop. Yeah, no, it's true, man. Talking to you always reminds me of those literally, like, you think maybe today didn't go well. Someone had a couple bad phone calls and stuff. What's the perspective? I mean, I thankfully haven't been under gunfire like that, but you have, and you've seen some crazy things, and I heard a few of the stories too. So perspective is so important. And I think those are obviously 3 great core elements that make you who you are. Anything else you'd like to leave the audience before you get back to work?
Yes. Talk to Mike if you have questions on freaking marketing. Marketing has to be done smartly. There's no such thing as blanket marketing. Like marketing I think every business has a very unique need, and Mike does a nice job with that. And I think that if you have marketing questions, you should talk to Mike, because he is going to address your need, which is going to be different than somebody else's need. So yeah, I don't think doing marketing alone on your own is a futile attempt. It sucks. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a customized approach I take with everybody. Everyone.
Agreed.
That's why my company's name is Social Chameleon. The chameleon part of it is I learn and adapt to each individual client. It's not one size fits all. Come in and I'm going to do 5 things in the first month that are going to make you more money. Your business is different than the barber next door. So I appreciate that tag. The check is in the mail. Thank you very much. Guys, go back and listen to this again. If you're at home right now and you're cooped up, it's, doing the self-quarantine, be smart out there. Remember, it's not about you. If you have a strong immune system and you're healthy, you're the last person we're concerned about. It's going out to the mall right now, even hopefully it's closed, but going out somewhere to the store, whatever you may not need to be doing. And it's the guy in line behind you who goes home and brings it to his mother. And now his mother is going to be in a tough situation because she has, some breathing concerns. So be smart. This is about your fellow man and woman. And that's what I'd like to get out there. Is just do everything we can do to control this thing and get it so it passes through and we can get back to life.
Hell yes.
Yeah, let's keep it going, man. Thank you so much for your time here. Unleashed.us, Robby Dinero. Oh, one last question. Tell us about the beard. What's going on here on the face? It could have been the first thing, but what's I love the look. It's definitely, talk about marketing. That's part of you. But what's the concept about have it all down here and not up here?
Not up here because I'm bald as hell, so I just shave it off. It was easier. I started shaving my head though long before I was bald. You know what it was? It was vanity. I hated how vain I was.
Okay.
I was trying to make changes in my life. It was a very chaotic time in my life. Mm-hmm. And I knew that in order to get rid of my vanity, I needed to get rid of the things that I was concerned about. So I shaved my head.
Okay.
I know it sounds extreme, but I shaved my head because I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to overcome my vanity. The beard is pretty simple. I had to shave for 14 years in the Marine Corps. I'm not shaving anymore. This is my post-Marine Corps pound sand beard.
Yeah, I love it. That's about as good of an answer as I could have expected. I appreciate it, brother. Hey, virtual fist bump, brother.
Bam!
Hey, guys, I appreciate you hanging out all the way until the end. Robby is an intense dude, and I absolutely love him. His no BS attitude and his leadership style leading from the front, as I mentioned earlier. I had the privilege of seeing him in action, both as a CrossFit trainer and as a leadership coach, and Robby is the real deal. I wanted to also acknowledge all the madness going on right now surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. coronavirus, my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone to find peace and not let fear overtake your comfort, both mentally and spiritually. Be smart. Tune into the recommended procedures in your county. Do not be ignorant. The best way to get through this is to stop it from continuing to rapidly spread, and we can do that if we limit the opportunity. Stay home. It's really that simple. Do what you can from home. Enjoy the extended time with your family if possible. Have a game night. Do your calls from Zoom or an online platform. Read a book. Learn a new skill that helps you better serve your fellow man. We're in this together. Let's keep rolling. I love you guys and thank you so much for tuning in. I wanted to get that out there. Let's stay together during this hard time and use it as a time to love our families and our neighbors. Be strong and persevere. Appreciate your reviews and messages coming in on social media. Keep them coming. You guys can check out more show notes and information on each episode at mikeduppodcast.com, MIKED uppodcast.com. We're powered by Social Chameleon. You guys know what to do. Be great and be grateful.